Hi, I'm Tim, welcome to our channel, and thanks for logging on. Today, I'm going to walk you through every phase of the usage and care of your Baume Mercier Clifton Baumatic. It's important to note that this is a timepiece that winds itself automatically by virtue of its caseback, asymmetrically weighted winding mass, so it converts kinetic energy into mainspring wind. However, if you wish to manually wind this timepiece, you can do so by taking the crown in its first position flush to the case and turning it in a clockwise direction. 20 to 30 turns will be sufficient to start the movement, and you'll see the seconds hand is advancing, so you'll know that the watch is running. At that point, you can set the time, set the date, and the watch will continue to wind itself. But should you wish to wind the watch up to its maximum rated power reserve of approximately 5 days or 120 hours, simply continue turning in a clockwise direction. It will require some winding, but you will be able to hear when the watch is fully wound because there will be a subtle click or tick from inside the case. That is the bridle style mainspring disengaging by design to relieve excess strain. You can't accidentally overwind the watch, so simply turn until you hear that faint click from within the case. It's your audible signal that your watch is fully energized. Now, the watch does feature two subsidiary functions that allow you to precisely set the time. The first is what's called hacking or stop seconds. You can see that by pulling the crown out 2 detents to its fully withdrawn position, I have stopped the seconds hand. The balance is no longer beating, the watch is inactive. Now, while the watch is stopped, what you want to do is stop that seconds hand at 12, but then look up an online atomic clock that is correct to your time zone, set the watch to the correct hour, but set it to the next nearest minute compared to your reference time. You're going to be at most 60 seconds ahead. Wait for that reference to catch up so that it displays the exact same hour, minute, and second on your watch. The second they match, push that crown back in all the way, resume the beat of the balance. Now you've synchronized your watch to your reference time. It's always important to note before you use the quick set date that the watch is not within the 8 p.m. to 3 a.m. span, as this is the period during which the date is engaged in its own automatic jump. It takes a large span of hours to jump the date. That is a power-intensive function. So before you use the quick set position to cycle the date, make sure you're not between 8 p.m. and 3 a.m. Once you are out of the danger zone, as they call it, you want to withdraw the crown to its intermediate position between winding and stop seconds. The watch will continue to beat, and then in that position, provided you engage the clutch properly, you will find that you can quickly cycle the date by turning in a clockwise direction. Now the date jumps quickly, and this is ideal should the watch run down or should you encounter an irregular length month. Always return the crown to its flush position when you're finished winding and setting. Now the timepiece faces 3 principal threats on your wrist. The first and the gravest is water. This timepiece has water resistance to 50 meters per Baume Mercier, which is sufficient for surface exposure, but not diving. The timepiece has a leather strap. It should be noted that while the watch is water resistant, leather, a natural porous material, never is water resistant. So always ensure the leather is dried immediately should it become moist, and optimally prevent it from coming in contact with water under any circumstances. The timepiece is water resistant, but you can help to avoid accidental drowning. Always keep the crown flush to the case and never attempt to wind or set the watch while it's submerged, or even if there's just water on the case, as this can bypass the seals and introduce watch to the interior of the watch, and once in, it never leaves. It's also important to note that you can help avoid accidental drowning by disusing the crown when the watch is wet, and you can give yourself the best chance of realizing the full rated water resistance of the watch by having it water tested at most every 24 months and preferably every 12 months via a dry water test at a Baume Mercier authorized service center. This is also a good time to have the holistic condition of your watch tested: water resistance, cosmetic, and chronometric performance. Now the timepiece has a great deal of hardening against magnetism, as this is the debut of a sophisticated bi-level twin strip, effectively anti-magnetic silicon hairspring in Baume Mercier. The twin spear system so named because it features 2 different levels of silicon coating with 2 different levels or coefficients of thermal expansion helps the watch to resist almost all of the magnets that you will encounter in daily life. However, the most powerful static magnets, such as rare earths or very high-powered electromagnets, such as MRIs or particle accelerators — hey, don't laugh, my uncle works at the Brookhaven Labs and he built a particle accelerator. If you are in proximity to those extreme electromagnets or static magnets, just to be safe, keep the watch remote from those sources of emissions. It's also important to note that whereas magnetism ultimately can be reversed, even if your watch falls prey to particle accelerators, shock and concussion can have far more serious and lasting effects on your watch. At minimum, they can alter the timing precision of your watch. Maximally, they can damage the case, the crystal, or even stop the movement. So always ensure the watch is disused during activities such as batting, tennis, golf, firearms marksmanship, or the riding of ATVs. Ultimately, every fine mechanical timepiece does require service. Happily, the 2018 debut Baume Mercier exclusive caliber BM12 1975A has a minimal service interval at the bare minimum of once every 5 years. This is a significant stride for the industry, which traditionally has recommended 2 to 5 years as a maintenance interval for a mechanical watch. Should it be necessary to service the timepiece, take it exclusively to either the Baume Mercier factory or boutique, or an authorized service center of Baume Mercier, as these agencies solely have the authorized personnel, specialized tools, and original Baume Mercier factory replacement parts to properly service your watch and protect its value as both instrument and as investment. Moreover, only these agencies can back all labor and parts invested with an original Baume Mercier factory service warranty. My final advisory to you is that you do have an interesting arrangement with respect to the pull-tab spring bars on the watch. Should you wish to swap the straps without resorting to an authorized dealer or jeweler, you can do so by simply withdrawing the spring tabs using nothing but your thumb, and you can quickly change the shoes on your watch. You will find that Baume Mercier and Baume Mercier dealers offer a bevy of factory options for replacing the strap and changing the look of your Clifton Baumatic. Visit our website at govbergwatches.com and call, text, or email our experts who will be happy to walk you through every phase of the care and usage of this or any Baume Mercier timepiece.